Look, I need you to hear me with your heart right now. I don't care where you came from. I care about where you're going. I don't care what mistakes you made, what chapters you don't like, or how many nights you sat there thinking it was over for you. I don't care how ugly it got. You hear me? I don't care how many people walked away, how many bad choices you made, or how long you've been stuck in that same cycle. What I care about, what you need to care about, is that you're still breathing, and if you're breathing, you've still got purpose. Too many of you, you're living like your past is a prison cell. You're acting like your history has life or death authority over your destiny. But I came to tell you, your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. You're not chained to it. It's not a life sentence. That failure, that heartbreak, that addiction, that season when you gave up on yourself, it's done. It happened, yes, but it's not who you are. You might have gone through some dark stuff, but it doesn't make you dark. It makes you real. It makes you human. It makes you a survivor. But listen to me. You can't survive forever. At some point, you've got to start living. You keep waking up every morning, dragging all this old baggage into a new day. You're carrying the shame, the guilt, the embarrassment. You're replaying the same scenes over and over and over again, like they gonna change. Let me help you. They not. You can't rewind time. You can't redo that moment. You can't say what you said or undo what you did. But what you can do is decide that that moment is not going to define you anymore. And yeah, I know people might still bring it up. I know people might still label you by your worst chapter, but let them talk. That ain't your business. They talking about the old you, but you already made up your mind to be NEW. So why are you still answering to the old you? Some of y'all are living under labels that expired years ago. You still thinking like the broken version of you. You still moving like the rejected version of you. You still operating from the pain like it just happened yesterday. But hear me, that season already passed. And the only reason it still has power is 'cause you keep feeding it with your focus. What you focus on, you fuel. And you've been feeding the wrong fire. You've been giving your energy to things that are already buried. It's like walking around carrying the ashes of an old fire and expecting heat from it. Ain't no heat coming from that. It's over. It's done. That version of you is gone, but you've been talking to it. You've been identifying with it. You've been crying over it. For what? For who? You don't live there no more. You hear what I'm saying? That version of you, that broken, hurting, confused, afraid version of you, it served its time. You went through that storm, and you made it out. It was a chapter, not the whole book. You ain't supposed to live there. You supposed to learn there. You supposed to grow. You supposed to evolve. You supposed to take the pain and turn it into power. You supposed to say, yeah, that was me, but it's not me anymore. The most dangerous lie the enemy will ever tell you is that your past disqualifies you from your future. That because you messed up, you can't rise up. That because you fell short, you can't bounce back. That because you got it wrong back then, you don't deserve a new beginning right now. That's a lie. You know what qualifies you for the future? Breath. If you got breath in your lungs, you got another shot. Another swing, another chapter, another WIN, but here's the catch. You can't have both. You can't hold on to your past and grab your future at the same time. You gotta choose. You gotta let go. You gotta drop the excuses, drop the story, drop the blame. Some of y'all are trying to carry guilt and growth in the same bag. It don't work like that. That bag too heavy. You gotta leave something behind, and I get it. It hurts to let go. That pain, that history, it became your identity. It became your comfort zone. You don't even know who you are without it. But hear me, that pain is not your home. That struggle is not your name. It's just a chapter, and God ain't done writing. So in 2025, I dare you. I dare you to finally leave your past in the past. I dare you to stop babysitting your trauma. I dare you to stop decorating your prison cell. You've been in survival mode so long you forgot what it's like to live. You forgot what it's like to dream again, to believe again, to show up like you deserve to win. You've been looking backward for so long you didn't even notice. Your future's been standing right in front of you this whole time, waiting. Waiting for you to believe you're more than what you've been through. Waiting for you to act like the giant you are called to be. Waiting for you to finally say, that's it, no more. I'm done letting my past tell me who I am. I'm done replaying scenes that don't serve me. I'm done staying stuck in a chapter that's already closed. It's time to move. It's time to grow. It's time to go get IT. Let the past rest. It did what it was supposed to do. Now, it's your turn. No introduction, no label, just truth from the heart. Let me tell you something real, and I need you to catch it, 'cause if you don't, you're gonna stay stuck in neutral while the rest of the world keeps moving. Some of y'all out here saying you want to move forward, saying 2025 is your year, but you're still glued to what happened in 2019, 2022 last week. You say you want a fresh start, but your mindset is stale. You say you want change, but your focus is still stuck on things you can't change. You're looking backward and wondering why you can't move forward. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a car drive forward while the driver's staring in the rear view mirror? You ain't gonna make it out the driveway. You might creep a little. You might even roll forward an inch or two. But eventually you crash, you stall, you drift into the wrong lane. Why? Because your eyes ain't where your future is. Your eyes are stuck in reverse. That's how a lot of us are living. We're trying to step into something new while being obsessed with everything that went wrong in the old. Still replaying the breakup. Still talking about who hurt you. Still carrying the disappointment like it happened this morning. Still bringing up how it used to be, what they said, what didn't happen, who let you down, how you messed it all up. And the problem is, when you keep driving while looking backward, you start seeing your future through the lens of your past. You start thinking, what was is all there ever can be. So now you're afraid to love again, afraid to trust, afraid to try, afraid to show up fully because in the back of your mind you're saying, what if it turns out just like last time? Let me help you, it won't. Unless you keep expecting it to. You keep expecting pain and calling it preparation, but it's really fear. You keep expecting people to disappoint you and calling it discernment, but it's really trauma. You're not preparing yourself, you're protecting yourself. But the problem is, when you live in protection mode, you block the very things that were sent to bless you. Because you're still looking back, and every time you look back, you miss what's right in front of you. Opportunity doesn't live in the rear view, and hear me, I'm not saying forget. I'm not saying pretend it didn't hurt. I'm not telling you to ignore the lessons. No, you take that lesson, and you learn it, and you let it grow you. But what you don't do is let it paralyze you. What you don't do is let it define you. 'Cause see, some of y'all are trying to protect yourself from pain so much that you're avoiding purpose. You're saying, what if I get hurt again? What if you don't? What if they leave again? What if they stay? What if I fail again? What if this is the one that works? But you won't know because you keep looking backward. You can't measure forward momentum through a rear-view lens. You can't write the next chapter of your life while you're reading the last one over and over again, memorizing every line like your future depends on it. It doesn't. It doesn't depend on who left. It doesn't depend on what you lost. It doesn't depend on what doors were closed or who didn't believe in you. Your future depends on what you choose to do next, not what was done to you before. You keep waiting for the past to apologize. You keep waiting for closure. You keep waiting for somebody to make it right. And I'm here to tell you that's not coming. And that's okay, because it doesn't have to. Your healing ain't attached to their apology. Your future ain't hinged on their validation. Sometimes closure is you deciding that you're done bleeding over a wound that already scabbed. You keep reopening it. You keep scratching it open with every memory, every replay, every conversation you have with yourself that ends in, I should have, or I wish I had, or if only I could go back. You can't. You can't go back. But what you can do is go forward better, wiser, stronger, but not if you keep your eyes in the rear view. And let me be honest with you, some of y'all have been driving in circles. You're not going anywhere, but it feels like movement because you're busy. You're distracted. You got the noise, you got the grind, you got the to-do list. But deep down you know, you're just avoiding the one conversation that would free you, the one where you finally say, I'm done letting the past be my compass. I'm done driving with my head turned around. I'm done measuring my future by my failure. I'm done letting yesterday have access to today. You need to understand the rear. You is small for a reason. The windshield is wide open because your future is meant to be bigger than your past. You can glance back. You can remember, but you can't live there. And 2025, that ain't a year to coast. This is not a repeat. This ain't just another lap around the same pane. This is your exit ramp. This is your turnaround year. But you've got to take your eyes off what was and lock them on what is. And what is possibility. What is purpose. What is new mercy, new grace, and new doors waiting for you to stop looking back long enough to walk through them. So stop trying to move forward while staring backward. You deserve more than the life your rear you keep showing you. Look ahead. You've been giving your past more than it deserves, and your future less than it requires. You hear what I'm saying. You're putting more energy into your regrets than into your recovery. More time into what broke you than into what can build you. And if we being honest, your future's been starving. It's been sitting there waiting on you to stop feeding your fear. Waiting on you to stop checking up on your old wounds like they still got something new to say. Waiting on you to believe again, trust again, invest again in you. You owe your future more than you owe your past, and the truth is, your past didn't do anything for you. It already took what it was gonna take. It took your peace. It took your time. It took your confidence. Some of you gave your best years to the wrong people, wrong decisions, wrong mindset. And you still paying interest on it like you owe it more. No, you already paid the price. You already took the L. You already cried the tears. That bill is settled. Now it's time to start paying your future what it's worth. But you gotta flip the equation. You keep showing up for the version of you that's not even here anymore. That broken version of you, that tired, beat-down version of you, that was a season, and maybe in that season, all you could do was survive. Maybe all you had was survival. You did what you had to do. You made it through, but this season, this ain't about survival. This one's about stepping into what you were actually created for. But here's the thing, you can't keep giving leftovers to your future and expecting a full harvest. You can't keep pouring your best energy into worrying about the past, replaying your failures, babysitting your insecurities, and then act like your future gonna bless you off of that. Nah, your future is expensive, your dreams cost something. The life you say you want is not gonna show up because you hope. It will. It's gonna show up when you shift your mindset, when you decide that you're worth the effort, when you stop negotiating with the old you and start showing up like the new you already arrived. And I get it. It's hard to invest in a future you don't feel yet. It's hard to believe in a version of you you've never seen. But if you don't start now, then when, you waiting to feel ready, You waiting for perfect conditions. That ain't coming. The time is now, the decision is now, the discipline is now, the healing is now. You don't owe the past another explanation. You don't owe your pain another conversation. You don't owe your fears another moment. But you do owe your future everything you didn't give yesterday. You do owe your next level the version of you that doesn't shrink, that doesn't play small, that doesn't keep apologizing for taking up space. Some of y'all so used to being stuck, you made a home out of it. You decorated your delay, you normalized your hesitation, you're calling comfort what's really just fear in disguise. But let me tell you something. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die. Your purpose is never gonna show up while you sitting in the same place expecting a different result. You've got to move. You've got to step up like you already know what you carry. Like you know what's inside of you ain't ordinary. Because it's not. You think this life you've been dreaming about, the impact, the freedom, the peace, the joy, the wholeness, you think that's gonna happen by accident. That's gonna happen when you stop giving so much power to the old you and start walking like the future you is already real. You've been sacrificing your future for your familiarity. You keep going back to people, places, habits, patterns, not because they're good for you, but because they're familiar. Because they feel safe, but safe ain't always good. Some of the most dangerous things in your life came dressed in comfort. But your destiny, it lives in disruption. It lives in the unknown. And you got to be willing to walk into that if you ever want to see what's really on the other side of all this pain. But here's what nobody told you. Your future is counting on you. You hear me? Not your mama, not your friends, not your boss, you. Your future is depending on you to show up like you know you belong there. Like you know you weren't created just to survive trauma, but to transcend it. Like you know that where you've been has nothing to do with where you're headed. Your future is sitting there like, when is he gonna stop playing small? When is she gonna stop waiting for permission? When are they gonna stop trying to get closure from things that already closed? You gotta stop apologizing to your past for moving forward. You gotta stop shrinking because other people got comfortable with your brokenness. Let them stay there if they want. You've got places to be. You've got work to do. You've got healing to walk in. You've got purpose to unlock. You've got people waiting on your voice, your gift, your example. So, why are you still trying to make the old you comfortable? Your past already got enough of you. It already stole enough time. Don't let it rob your future too. You owe your future everything. This is the natural culmination of everything before it. That moment where the audience has no choice but to feel it. Let's finish strong. This ain't just another year. You hear what I said. This is not another lap around the same mountain. This is not just some cute little fresh start, post for the gram. This is not a temporary fix, not a January hype wave that dies by February. Nah, this one is different. This one is personal. This one is about you finally showing up for you. This is about dominating every room you walk into, not blending in, not hoping they see you, but walking in with your head high, your shoulders square, your spirit locked in, because you know you don't need permission to be who you already are. You've been through too much to walk into 2025 soft. You've survived too much to shrink now. You didn't make it out of everything you made it out of just to stay the same. You didn't cry all those tears, lose all those nights, fight through all that pain just to play defense. It's time to go on offense. It's time to stop reacting and start deciding. No more waiting on life to hand you anything. You take it. You take it because you've already earned it. You take it because you made it through stuff that would have crushed most people. You kept going when you had every reason to quit. And yeah, maybe you slipped. Maybe you backtracked. Maybe you lost your way for a minute, but you never stopped. You're still standing, still breathing, still here. That means it's not too late. But hear me, being here is not enough anymore. Just existing ain't enough in 2025. Being present ain't the goal. Being powerful is. Being intentional, being focused, being relentless about your calling, your healing, your peace. You can't just coast anymore. Coasting is for people who don't know who they are. Coasting is for people who gave up on the vision. But that's not you. You got vision. You got fire. You got divine responsibility on your life. You got people watching you. Kids looking up to you. Generations depending on whether or not you show up and finish what you started. So don't tell me you tired. Don't tell me it's hard. I know it's hard, but so what? Hard doesn't mean impossible. Hard doesn't mean stop. Hard means go deeper, push harder, stretch wider. You're not gonna be great off convenience. You're not gonna be legendary doing what's easy. You're gonna have to outwork it, outlast it, believe everything that's ever tried to hold you down. You say you want the dream, okay, but are you willing to become the person that dream requires? Everybody wants the results, but not everybody wants the routine. Everybody wants the platform, but nobody wants the preparation. You can't skip process and expect power. You can't avoid the dark room and still shine in public. Some of y'all praying for light, but you don't want the fire that makes it. And I get it, fire burns, but it also refines. Fire produces purity. Fire forges strength, and let's be real, this ain't just about success. This is about alignment. This is about you finally getting in sync with what God already put inside of you. You've spent years living under your potential, years pretending like you didn't want more because other people got uncomfortable, years silencing your own voice to keep the peace. But 2025, we're not doing that anymore. In 2025, you walk like you belong. You speak like you believe. You move like you've already seen the victory. You don't wait for the environment to tell you who you are. You show up and define the environment. You shift the energy in the room because of the weight of your presence. But that means you've got to stop negotiating with distractions. You've got to stop playing with time like you got unlimited amounts of it. You've got to stop revisiting habits that already proved they're not taking you anywhere. You've got to decide either you're all in or you're out. You can't halfway build legacy. You can't kinda heal. You can't sort of pursue purpose. You either wake up and go get it, or you sit back and keep hoping somebody else hands it to you. But I got news for you. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to force you out of bed. No one's coming to take your phone away. No one's coming to break that addiction. No one's coming to stop the self-doubt playing on repeat in your head. That's your job, your work, your fight, and guess what? You're equipped for it. Everything you need is already in you. You've just been too distracted, too wounded, too scared to access it. But not anymore, not this year. This year, the inner you and the outer you finally match. This year, the discipline catches up with the dream. This year, the power you've been dimming, you turn it all the way up. No apologies, no filters, no fear. And I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect. I'm saying it's gonna be worth it. I'm saying every step, every stumble, every second you choose purpose over comfort, that's a seed. And it's gonna harvest. It's gonna multiply. It's gonna break cycles and open doors and shift things in your bloodline that nobody before you could shift. That's why it's personal now. This year is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving you right. Proving to yourself that you were always capable, that it was always in you, that every lie they told you, every moment they overlooked you, every time they counted you out, none of it stopped what was already written. You just had to believe it enough to go get it. So stop waiting, stop wishing, stop explaining. 2025 ain't a warm-up year. It's not a test run. This is the one you take personal. This is the one you dominate. Let's get it.